I serve as the Executive Director of the Institute for the Study of Global Antisemitism and Policy. It was established in 2004 with Nobel Prize laureate Professor Elie Wiesel. Professor Wiesel always used to teach that anti-Semitism is not a parochial problem for the Jewish people or for the state of Israel, but that anti-Semitism is a vile form of hatred that begins with the Jewish people but never ends with the Jewish people. And once this form of hatred is unleashed, it knows no boundaries and it attacks other vulnerable parts of our society, our cultural institutions, and our core democratic values. ISGAP is a research center that operates globally. We operate in the United States, in the United Kingdom, where we have a research center at Cambridge University. We do programs at Oxford University. We're also in Tel Aviv University at the INSS in Israel, in Italy, and in Canada. Our mission is to map and decode contemporary anti-Semitism and the anti-democratic forces at the highest levels of scholarship, developing scientific, evidence-based strategies to assist policymakers in combating this ancient scourge. Our research demonstrates that anti-Semitism has infiltrated mainstream discourse across educational, political, and social spheres. Our most prestigious universities and campuses, we've witnessed hundreds of anti-Semitic resolutions and protests, which some of them turned violent, others leading to the harassment and exclusion of Jewish students, faculty, and staff. While anti-Semitism is known as the world's oldest hatred, the Hamas attack of October the 7th triggered an explosion of organized anti-Semitic attacks against Jewish people and Jewish institutions, initially on college campuses before it spread nationwide. Anti-Semitic incidents have surged 360% since October the 7th, according to the ADL survey, and 83% of Jewish college students across this country have reported witnessing or experiencing anti-Semitism on their campus. I have personally seen that many Jewish students and faculty no longer feel physically safe on their college campus, which should be a bastion of tolerance and intellectual freedom and exploration. ISGAP's premier research project now is called Follow the Money, which examines the relationship between foreign funding to United States universities and the rise of anti-Semitism on campus, but also in the classroom. Our research has documented disturbing patterns of foreign influence through financial contributions that coincide with increased anti-Semitic activity, compromise academic freedom, and distort campus discourse on issues related to Israel, Jews, and the Middle East. In 2019, I presented our initial findings of this Follow the Money research project to federal officials, revealing that $3 billion of undisclosed money coming from Middle East anti-democratic, anti-American, and anti-Semitic forces, primarily from the Qatari regime to American universities, has led to a federal investigation that identified more than $6.5 billion in unreported foreign funding to our universities. Our ongoing research establishes that the Qatari regime donations have substantially impacted anti-Semitic discourse at American universities while also promoting anti-democratic values. It should be noted that the Qatari regime maintains documented ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood is a reactionary, I would even say, perversion of Islam that combines a perversion of Islam with European anti-Semitism and even the protocols of the Elders of Zion that led to the Holocaust. That they have this, it's called a bayah, a spiritual oath to the Muslim Brotherhood, that also support and gives rise to Hamas, the Palestinian chapter of the Muslim Brotherhood, and other violent anti-Semitic and anti-democratic extremist affiliations. Since October the 7th, ISGAP has published 12 comprehensive reports revealing tens of billions of dollars in undocumented foreign funding coming to American universities, again, primarily from the Qatari regime, unreported to the Department of Education as required by law. Our analysis shows that between 2015 and 2020, that there's been a 300% increase in anti-Semitic incidents as well. We have uncovered systematic efforts to circumvent the transparency required by Section 117 of the Higher Education Act. Universities underreport foreign gifts, use third-party foundations to shield donor identities, and fail to disclose conditions and restrictions attached to the donations. Can I finish in 30 seconds? Or
30 seconds.
Okay. Very quickly, we found we did a report on Texas A&M. We found $1.3 billion in undocumented money between the Qatari regime and Texas A&M. We found 502 research projects. Texas A&M gave all of their intellectual property rights to the Qatari regime. 58 projects we flagged that have military dual-use purpose. 13 have nuclear research dual-use purposes. Qatar has very good relations with the Iranian Revolutionary Regime, Hamas, and the Taliban. At Cornell University, we found $2 billion in unreported, undocumented funding going from Qatar to Cornell. K through 12, we just published a report. Hundreds of millions of dollars going to create curriculum across the United States of America for children that remove Jews and Christians from curriculum about the Middle East. We've done reports on SJP. I'll end it there, and I'll get to the recommendations in the Q&A, but thank you for listening.